So today, I know that I haven't been posting in quite some time. With the new year rolling in, I was starting on a lot of new projects and really taking kind of like a social media and work break. So that is why I haven't been sharing as much content or any content on this new channel, but there's so much to come in this new year and so many exciting things as well that I can't wait to share with you all. Today, I really wanted to kick it off with talking about my health journey and kind of what I have been through in really the last year and a half. Yeah, almost 2 years. And so I've really come quite a far way. Looking back a year and a half, almost 2 years ago, it's crazy how much I've changed mentally and physically and really just my entire life. So much has happened. So I wanted to take this time to share it with you guys, and let's get right into it. So to start off, about a year and a half ago, I got involved with Beachbody. So I became a Beachbody coach, and that really got me into their programs and at-home workouts and staying consistent with working out. Originally, that is what started it all, ultimately. Now, all of those, if you haven't heard of Beachbody, what it is they're at-home workout programs, and now they have a Beachbody on demand. They used to sell them only as DVDs, but now they come as programs, all from a demand. So all of the programs are in one section, and you can kind of pick and choose whichever one you'd like to do. Well, all of the programs do come with nutrition plans as well. Most of them are based off, pretty much all of them are based off the 21-day fix program nutrition plan, which is with the colored portion containers. And that is really what started it all. But going to be completely honest, when I first started with Beachbody, I did not follow the nutrition plan at all, at least for the first 2.5 months or so. And so when I wasn't following the nutrition plan, I was losing a couple pounds here and there, but nothing significant at all, because I wasn't following the nutrition. I was kind of eating whatever I wanted, counting my calories for a couple days, then slacking off. But what really ultimately changed it all was when I started keeping track of my nutrition and what I was eating and portioning. That was my big thing, portion control. I would fill up my plate so high, or I would just continually like binge or snack throughout the day, and I would not stop until I was literally overly full, never stopping when I was satisfied, just constantly eating until my plate was empty or until honestly there was no food left. And so that was my big issue, and it's kind of always been my issue growing up. I just always felt like I had to finish what was on my plate. I don't know why, but that is the feeling that I always got. So I always did, and a lot of the times I was always like over full or just honestly felt sick after most meals. It obviously also had to do with the types of foods I was eating. Now, once I got into portion controlling and using the containers, that really helped me just overall become aware of exactly what I was putting into my body and how much of it I was. So the portion controlling was very challenging at first, for sure. Just lowering your portions and like training your body to eat less, that alone is a lot more difficult than you might think if you haven't tried it yourself. But what took it to the ultimate next level after portion controlling was really, again, focusing on exactly the foods I was eating. So the portion control alone led me to lose 20 to 25 pounds on top of the 5 or 6 pounds that I had lost just from sticking to working out consistently. Now, the combination of those two got me to lose 25 to 30 pounds. Now, what took me to, again, the ultimate next level was getting involved in the vegan and kind of nutrition community. Now, I began talking to people online about veganism, and I was just very interested. I saw several of the people I followed on Instagram, bodybuilders and fitness enthusiasts, that really, they were vegan, but they were also, very, very passionate about fitness. And I was obviously looking through their pages and shouting out to them, asking them questions on, how they were able to gain so much muscle and how they were able to be so fit while also, not eating any animal products. I just found it to be fascinating. So I started to do more research and I ended up watching the movie What the Health. Now, I'm sure you're familiar with it. It's blown up all across media, but super big from Netflix. And I took the plunge and I watched the movie, and literally halfway through the movie, I stopped what I was eating. There was still a piece of salmon on my plate. I stopped what I was eating, and I have not touched animal products since. And it is going on, it's been a year, so it's about a year and half of a month, so a year and a couple weeks. And honestly, it was absolutely the best decision I ever made. But I want to point out that just going vegan doesn't mean that you're healthy or that all of the foods you eat are healthy. I took it again to the next level. And one of my friends actually suggested me to read the book How Not to Die. Wow, this changed my literal perspective on food for honestly the rest of my life. And I know it will change my perspective on food for the rest of my life. So I got it on Audible and I listened to it every day on the way to school and back from school, and anytime I was in the car or cooking, I just had my headphones in listening to this book by Dr. Greger. And the way he explained things I was able to comprehend it so much easier than just like reading like a textbook on nutrition. And the fact that he only shared clinical studies and factual information. It wasn't biased, it wasn't opinionated, it was actual information, honest clinical studies that had been performed on so many different nutrition aspects. So if you haven't read that book, I highly recommend it. I recommend it to all of my clients, and when they do take the time to even just read the first chapter, it blows them away. And so that is really what changed everything. From there, I went whole food plant-based, and I have really implemented a whole food plant-based diet and lifestyle over the course of the year. So I would say about 3 to 4 months into being vegan, I went pretty much fully whole food plant-based. And of course, still going out sometimes, still, splurging, getting some junk food, because we're human, we're not perfect. But for the most part, sticking to a whole food plant-based lifestyle, which is little to no added oil, little to no added sugar, and little to no added salt, and of course no animal products. Sticking to unprocessed foods, just the produce section and the bulk section of legumes, nuts, seeds, fruits, veggies, whole grains. Those are the main categories of foods that I eat, and I'll definitely be talking about more on that in the future. So from there, I just got passionate about researching. So I got involved. I subscribed to nutritionfacts.org, which is Dr. Greger's nonprofit website, where he shares new clinical studies and new information on nutrition studies every single day, which I highly recommend checking that out if you haven't. So I constantly was researching that, and then I really wanted to share it with more people. So I began a overall business called Sky's Plants, and that is where it all honestly began. So I started sharing the word of a whole food plant-based lifestyle and what it can do for you, how I experienced it. I shared it with my family. Most of my family became vegan. There are definitely a few stubborn people that we are still working on, and that's bound to happen. Everybody transitions in a different way. But for me personally, I experienced such great benefit from taking all of these foods and additives out of my lifestyle. So I wanted to share it with as many people as possible. So I began, sharing on my stories, what I was eating, different recipes, researching through nutritionfacts.org, and I took it a step further once again and got my plant-based certification through eCornell. Dr. Colin Campbell, the author of China Study, he made a 6-week course through eCornell, an online version of Cornell University, and that was amazing. Such an awesome experience. I gained so much knowledge from it and just continue to share that knowledge with more people. Ultimately, after sharing this information with people through social media, I decided to start creating services to share with people and talk with people one-on-one. So through my Skies Plants business, I do one-on-one consultations now with anyone who feels they can benefit. So in these consultations, I walk them through a transitioning process into a whole food plant-based lifestyle, because yes, as I mentioned, it is a transitioning process for everyone. A lot of people can't just go cold turkey overnight and just cut out all products. A lot of people like to slowly but surely cut them out, use what is left in their house and then move forward. And so ultimately I coach my clients through this process, how to go grocery shopping, how to check labels, what to look for, what foods to eat, what recipes to make, and really doing it all in a very simplistic way. Not needing to have all of the fancy supplies in the kitchen. You don't need to have a Vitamix to be plant-based. Definitely not the overall point of it. So I just walk them through that process, help them as much as possible, and help them specifically fit it into their life. And so that is one thing that I now offer, and I just recently started offering meal plans, and that has been awesome. That's opened me up to kind of a new sense in helping people, because instead of doing just one-on-one consultations, I chat with them about their goals specifically, just strictly to nutrition. Whereas with my consultations, I go into minimalism, simplifying the household, grocery shopping, nutrition aspect of course still, but movement as well, and sustainability. So I kind of join together a lot of things in my lifestyle coaching packages, whereas with the meal plan, I just specifically focus on nutrition with them. So it's definitely been awesome, because a lot of people are just specifically interested into just that one category. But it has been a whirlwind for sure, and all of these different processes and things that I've gone through in this journey has helped me to build upon myself and my journey. I'm constantly learning and growing every single day, and honestly, the more that I learn, the more I can implement in my lifestyle, and then if I benefit from it, I can share it with others. And honestly, that is what has led me to grow so much. A couple other things that I wanted to mention, kind of away from the nutrition aspect, but really they all correlate because they all work off each other. I really, within the last 3 months, have gotten into yoga and meditation, and this has been truly amazing for me. It has allowed me to connect with my spiritual side, which I never thought would be something that I would be interested in. Now with meditation and yoga, I've gotten into chakras and how each part of the body connects in a different way and really grounds you to the earth, allows you to feel connected with nature and the world around you. And without getting too yogi on you, I just wanted to mention that it has really allowed me to grow more with my health journey as well, because I'm more in tune with my body. I set better intentions through my meditation and yoga, because I'm able to just relax and slow down and notice that not everything is going to be perfect all of the time. That's part of the journey. That's part of the growing experience, making mistakes and being okay with the position that you are in presently, right now. And I really try to share that with as many people as possible, and starting this channel I feel is going to be a great way to spread that with others, spread the love. You know, self-love is so important, and really just knowing that where you are right now is exactly where you should be. And we are all on our own journeys, and we can all take it at our own pace. That's what we have to do. So that is overall my journey. I'm going to be sharing some photos throughout that you've seen of how I've changed over the last year and a half. So definitely look out for those. And overall, I'm just so thankful for coming across all of these different sources: yoga, meditation, nutrition, whole food, plant-based nutrition, Dr. Greger, Dr. T. Colin Campbell. Those are just some of the shout outs. And some other shout outs, Lexi. She is the one who introduced me, one of my friends, to How Not to Die, which really changed my life. So shout out if you're watching it. Thank you. And yeah, so before I continue to keep rambling, I hope that you were able to benefit from this video in some way, and I cannot wait to share more and more information and experiences that I've gone through with you all in hopes that it can better your life in some way. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and let's end on a namaste.